Hi, almost everyone is watching my channel without a subscription. Please support me and subscribe. I release videos every day for you. Story 1. My mom stole $8 from me and opened credit cards in my name. I haven't talked to my mom for a little over 1 year now, but this is the story of my mom lies. Growing up, my mom was always in and out of jail for stealing. Last time she was arrested was in 2015. I was 19 at that time. She always said she stole to provide for our family, but we never lived in a stable home. She would just blow money on expensive gifts and tell us we aren't poor, we have this. How many poor kids have this? As we lived from hotel to hotel. Growing up, I became the financially responsible child. I worked multiple jobs, got good grades, and community service. I was able to save up $8,500 for college with multiple scholarships. During my hard work in high school, I also helped my mom with bills and paying for whatever she needed help with. When I left for college, she was arrested again and had to be dropped off states away by my aunt for my first day of college. I asked my mom for my college money, and she said would transfer the money when she got out. When she got out, it all magically disappeared. She blamed my dead grandmother for stealing my money. In 2019, I discovered multiple credit cards and an apartment laid on bills were opened in my name. I cried to my mom about all these issues, and she comforted me and asked for more money. I gave her more money. I graduated with my BA and went to grad school. I was able to be in grad school for 1 year with my saving before I needed to take Grad Plus loans out. I applied but was denied due to all the negative items on my credit score. My mom told me to just pay it off. I didn't, I dropped out instead. I was devastated, but I wasn't going to pay for other people's fun ride. I called all the credit companies and got the address for all the credit cards. It was my mom's address. When confronted, she broke down, saying it was my grandmother, and how dare I blame her for this. She demanded an apology and didn't speak to me for a week. My grandmother died before all the credit cards were open. I filed a police report against my mother. She doesn't know yet, but when she finds out, I am sure I will receive the best kind of text message. We stopped talking for another reason. Edit for all the comments. I've not spoken to my mother for a year, almost 2 years now. She has been blocked on everything. The reason we do not talk is on a previous post I made about how happy I am my boyfriend ruined my relationship with her. To the comments asking about why I kept giving her money. It was hard. It was either help with the bills or have no electricity, water, gas, or roof over mine and my brother's head. I didn't want to be homeless again, and I didn't want my brother to suffer either. I felt like I needed to help my family because for so long I had the mentality that blood was thicker than water. I know now it isn't my responsibility. I was just young and thought I was doing the best I could to provide for my family from the ages of 16 to 23. I'm 26 now. Credit stuff. I've gotten a good amount taken off. Only 2 cards and 1 bill are on my credit score. So this may not be the update everyone wanted to hear. I didn't get justice. She hasn't been arrested. And no charges at this time. I still do have a police report, but I'm not going to push the police to go make an arrest. The update is just more information I have recently discovered. More context. It wasn't just always my mom, my brother, and I. When I was born, I shared a small 3-bedroom apartment with my grandmother, her husband, my aunt in high school, my mom, me, and then my little brother followed. My aunt went no contact with the family in her later 20s, and I never knew why. It hurt to lose someone I was close with. I heard of horrible rumors of things my aunt was doing for my mom, and my mom would also let me know awful things my aunt was saying about me. My aunt was on and off in my life after this NC. Well, fast forward to present, I reached out to my aunt to meet her. We talked and got everything cleared. My mom stole my aunt and her father's identity. My aunt had a lot of debt she didn't know about, and when she found out it was my mom, she pressed charges. This was the second time she was arrested. My aunt's husband, who was a cop, arrested her. I knew he hated my mom, but never knew why. My aunt then gave me a list of family members who she also stole their identities, and everyone in the family knew it would happen to me and my little brother. The issue was how were they going to stop her? She was our mom. My aunt told me she wished my mom would have given us up, so my brother and I could have lived with her and had a normal life. I don't know why, but those words broke me so much. To know I had family that knew we were being hurt, but couldn't do much to help us. To know they wanted to save me and my brother. My aunt then proceeded to tell me my father tried to go to court to have my SSN changed and locked till I was 18. This way, my mom couldn't steal my identity. It obviously didn't work, and here I am. She told me how happy and proud she was of me. She told me she struggled when she went no contact because she felt like she left her babies behind and she was afraid of how we would turn out. I love my aunt, and I'm so happy I reached out. I'm even more angry with my mom. How badly she isolated us into her own delusional world, and in end destroyed our relationship. I told my aunt, I didn't care that we struggled in poverty. I don't blame her for that. I blame her for how she handled it and put so much pressure on two children to become billionaires for her to continue her reckless spending. Do not forget to subscribe and leave comments. Videos are released every day. Story 2. Dad demands me and older sis spend time with him on Christmas Day and skip seeing our only grandpa left, who doesn't have that much time. Sorry if this has spelling errors using mobile. For some background, I 15F, my older sister 21F, and my mother 55F all live in the same house, and our only grandpa left in the family, Mom's father, lives in a retirement home due to a stroke he had. He's in his late-ish 80s. The retirement home is also pretty far out, about a few hours away from home. This is important for the story. The cast: me, OS, older sister, Mom, and DBD, deadbeat dad. The story: ever since Mom and DBD got a divorce, me and OS see him every few holidays. For an example, if me and OS went to see Grandpa for Thanksgiving, then DBD has the right to have us for Christmas. It's also the same thing if it was the other way around, but we really don't follow this rule. Unfortunately, Grandpa had a stroke around when I was 13, but thankfully Mom's brother got their dad to the hospital and he was ok. He just had slight memory problems, but he still remembers us when we went to see him for this Thanksgiving. This was the first time I've seen my grandpa in a long time, and I was worried that he wouldn't remember me. But when he saw me, he definitely remembered, which was great. DBD didn't seen us for a while and suddenly wanted us to be with him for Christmas morning, when me and OS wanted to see Grandpa for Christmas morning. Now the reason why I put scene like that is because he had between Thanksgiving and right before Christmas to see us, plus his weekends, which he gets right after Mom's weekend with us. And he didn't bother to see us nor call us. So when he called Mom one night acting all pissed for no reason. Let's just say me, Mom, and OS were all fed up, since he has an ungrateful habit of doing that and trying to play the victim. Mom had to come upstairs just so he can have us tell him if we want to be with him for Christmas morning or Eve. We told him that we wanted to be with him for Christmas Eve, and oh boy, he was pissed. It was so bad that OS had to call him and told him that we wanted to see Grandpa for Christmas morning because he was very old and doesn't have that much time left. OS also told him that we are sorry that we didn't get to spend much time with his father before he passed away, which we deeply regretted not spending enough time with him, and that we want to be with Mom's dad, but he can have us on Christmas Eve. It didn't get through DBD's thick skull that it would be best for us to spend as much time as possible with Grandpa, than with a dad who broken a stupid amount of promises, neglected to take care of me when I was a baby, ate all of me and OS's school lunches, didn't bother to help clean the house nor laundry, cheated on Mom multiple times, and didn't even help pay for half of OS college like he promised he would. He literally said to OS that he didn't get to spend much time with us and wanted us for Christmas morning while we can go see Grandpa sometime later, which is impossible because the retirement home only lets Grandpa go to Mom's brother's house once in a while. Plus, I'm not allowed to see him in the retirement home since I can't get vaccinated due to a health problem I have, and the retirement home is very far. Little did he knew during the call that I was standing there and I heard everything he said. After he hinged up, we were livid. We decided that we were going to have to keep a lookout for him, since he said over the phone that he will come over and have a talk with us, and don't worry. We won't answer the door if Mom isn't home, but if we have to, then OS will be with me since DBD has been known to do crazy stuff. Like that one time he kidnapped me from YMSA when I was little. Do not forget to subscribe and leave comments. Videos are released every day. Story 3. I was forced to give all of my first month's salary to my well-to-do parents. For context, I'm a 25F living in a different country than my parents. I live in an expensive city where I pay my own bills. I work and study full-time. I was recently promoted from being an intern to a full-time employee, and the first thing my dad says is, "Oh, so you're giving us your first salary?" It was more telling than asking. All my life I've heard my dad say, "I will die the day I have to take a single penny from you." The irony. Moreover, they are well-to-do. Anyway, knowing the narcissistic rage I'd face if I didn't heed them, I gave them all my salary and dug into my savings for my expenses. I also just recently paid for a part of my siblings' 20M vacation when he visited me. And yet, they go around telling people how I use them only because I am opinionated, like to be independent, and want to marry the man I've loved for 8 years as opposed to the man they would have arranged for me. It makes me so upset and angry. My parents are narcissists, so I've had my fair share of physical, emotional, and verbal abuse since my childhood. I was sent away to a boarding school in a different country as a means of punishment when I was 11 because I started acting out, lying to go hang out with friends, due to physical and emotional abuse at home. So I basically grew up independently and learned everything on my own. I knew financial independence was my only ticket to freedom. By 18, I learned some skills, got part-time gigs. Then I did tons of internships, saved up, bought gifts for my family because it was expected of me. I love buying presents for my friends though. At 22, I had to pursue a master's degree because there was a threat of an arranged marriage, and I felt that studying in a foreign university would buy me time and some physical distance. I knew my parents would use financial means to control me, so I suggested taking a loan to pay for my education. My dad turned the house upside down and was seething with so much anger at the mere suggestion. Anyway, all while I'm studying full-time, I'm also working full-time to pay my bills. It was exhausting. My parents just piled on with nasty and hurtful comments every chance they got because they felt I was enjoying my life. I graduated top of my class, got a good job, and yet nothing makes them happy. All I hear is, "You are in this position only because I worked so hard to provide for you. And we gave birth to you, and you should respect us." So then I am coerced into giving them my salary while I actually need it to sustain myself. On top of that, they treat me badly and say shit about me to their friends. I might not have minded giving them my salary, but for parents who never treated me like a human being and have so much pride, this infuriates me, and yet I feel helpless. Edit. Thank you to all those who've been kind with their words and tips. I appreciate the differing views too. While most people are able to appreciate that I come from a different cultural, family is God, upbringing that causes me to spiral in self-doubt and extreme guilt in standing my ground, some can't seem to understand that no two situations of victims of narcs are the same. I believe in this. It is never the victim's fault. For years, to give in is what my body and brain have known. That's the thing about emotional abuse, it gets lodged as trauma so deep within our bodies that it takes a lot of work to get out of. Thus, it doesn't matter that I'm in a different country. I had to give my parents the money at a time they were to meet my partner's parents for the first time to finalize my wedding. I felt compelled to maintain the peace. The interjection of events surely plays into how much power I held. I don't paint myself as the naive victim, and so either. I've worked towards my independence, even while I was hurting. Somewhere along the way, I lost my sense of self. I'm working on my mental health to regain my energy and power before I go NC. I cannot fight with an empty tank. I've only recently begun learning of dealing with NPs and equipping myself with tools and info. I will get my happy ending eventually, but for right now, I just wanted to vent and allow myself time to fully understand my needs before I jump into anything. Do not forget to subscribe and leave comments. Videos are released every day.